Well, hey everybody, welcome back to Washita Valley Farms. Glad you could join me today. Well, so this, if you guys caught my extras video, the 33.5, I believe it was. If you guys caught that, well, this is just later in the same day. I've been out all day spreading some lime for some different folks. Usually the way it works is when we try to group the folks that want lime spread, we try to kind of group them together and just kind of hit them all in the same 2 or 3 days. So that's kind of what's been taking place. I think we're just about done now. Maybe there's a little bit more that I got to go spread in the morning, but for the most part, all the linemen is done. It is just about time to go home here. I don't think Matt has got anything else for me to do today, so we're gonna go home and probably get the new Haybine spruced up. And speaking of Haybine, I think Jimmy's here. Must be visiting with Matt. Let's see here. We can get this back in without running into anybody. Well, we'll go see what Jimmy has to say. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Matt.
Cussler, just the man I wanted to see. You ready to get started?
Hey, Jimmy. It started with what? It's not Saturday yet, right?
Well, orchard grass is starting to go to seed, and I think I'd like to get it started today, if you can.
Yeah, well, if you'd had asked me tomorrow, I would have said I got something going, but yeah, I can come over. I can come over today. Any particular time? Just as soon as I can get there.
Yep, just as soon as you can get there, it'll be fine.
Okay. Sure. I'll run home and I'll jump in the tractor. I've already got it hooked up to the Haybine. It's greased up and it's ready to go as far as I know. So give me like maybe an hour probably, and I can be over there.
Great, we'll see you there.
All right, everybody. I guess there you have it. We're gonna go cut some hay today. I was not expecting this at all. You know, I thought Jimmy and I had agreed on Saturday, and that's today is a Wednesday, not a Saturday. But I guess he says the hay's ready and nobody else's hay is ready yet that, I cut last year. Dad's is still a little bit short. I thought maybe some of his was going to be ready to go, but it's actually still a little bit short. Steve's, all his stuff is still a little bit short, so I guess we'll go tackle Jimmy's first thing. Got the Fiat hooked up to the Haybine. I think it's going to be a pretty good match. I got the Chrome Big Pack. It's all tucked away safe and sound in the barn here in the shop. So let's see here. I think the Fiat's got fuel. May have to check. I did fuel up the slip tank in my pickup today. So I don't know. I guess maiden voyage for the Haybine. Wish me luck. All right, so it does look like the Fiat here needs a little bit of fuel. So we'll pull over next to the pickup and we will put a little bit of fuel in this thing before I go. There's no sense in going out there with anything less than a full tank in this tractor. All right, fueled up and ready to go. I actually think that this thing may have, the lift cylinders of this thing may have bled off a little bit. Let's see if I can raise this. Yep. I'm going to have to watch that. It's set here for a couple of days, and the lift cylinders on the mower I guess, leak by just a little bit. That's something I'm really going to have to watch going down the road at first until I can discover how much they, or how quickly they sink. All right, guys. I will catch you when we get closer to Jimmy's house. Well, we made it. We're here. We're coming to the little lane that leads to Jimmy's place here. Here's our over here to the left. Here's our hayfield that we've been charged with cutting. Last time we saw this, it was dark and you guys couldn't see the pivot or anything like that. But this is the place. It's right over here. Jimmy called me on the way over here and told me to meet him down here at his hay shed. I guess he doesn't want me to start on the outside rounds yet. I guess he's got something else he wants me to cut first. So that's should be interesting. Already plans are changing when it comes to this. So who knows what's going to happen, I guess. That's kind of the way farming is, though. You can plan as best you can, and then, maybe everything changes due to the weather or what have you. Let's go hop out and see what he has in mind. Hey, Jimmy, what's the plan?
So, Guzzler, what I need you to do is cut me a spot for my hay wrapper to go.
Okay, like what are you thinking here?
Well, I just want it to be parallel with the road you came in on, and the full width of this little pasture over here, next to the hay shed, and just make me about let's see here. You got about 16 foot. Just make me about 6 passes, just straight back and forth, and we'll call that good. And when you're done with that, go ahead and get started on the outside ramps.
All right, Jimmy. Just if you don't like what I'm doing, just flag me down and tell me what you want me to do.
All right, Cussler. It'll be fine.
Okay, he said parallel with the road I came in on, so I'm guessing it's going to be something like... let's see here. So he said parallel with the road I came in on. And over here next to the hay shed, so... I guess I'll just try to get it as straight as I can. Let's see here. I'm gonna get this thing folded out. You kind of got to drive forward when you do this. You got to sort of want to make sure that you're moving. Alright, I'd say I'm fairly parallel with the road. So we'll get this thing going and see what happens, I guess. Alright, maiden voyage of the Haybine. Right here, you're seeing it. Let's see, I'm doing about 6 miles an hour right now. According to my handy dandy little speed chart, wherever my handy dandy little speed chart is. So I guess the impression I get is that he needs a place for his for the wrapper to be able to wrap the bales. He didn't want to wrap the bales on top of this tall grass, so he wants a spot to be able to put the wrapped bales. He said about 6 passes wide, which I don't really know how many passes that is, or how far that is quite yet. I don't really have a good feel for. This thing yet. I'm guessing that's going to be way more than 6 passes, but I guess we'll just do what we can do here. So I'll give you a little update as far as the new tractor is going. So the new tractor is bought. My new tractor is bought. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I bought another tractor. Basically, that's the short version of the story. I don't want to rehash too much stuff from previous videos, but the new tractor is bought. I bought the tractor from the former Alice Chalmers dealer, and that's going to be coming soon. Now it's coming from Iowa, so it's not going to be here like tomorrow. It's going to be here more like early next week, maybe. So we'll see when it gets here. I'm definitely going to be cutting on this hay. Well, I guess I'm definitely going to be cutting on this hay, but I'm going to be baling on this hay before it gets here. So we'll just kind of see how this goes, and I'm going to be using Kurt Stevens' tractor, his 7930. I'm going to be using that until my new tractor gets here and I get it all situated and it's all good to go and ready to go. He was nice enough to let me trade some labor for the use of that tractor. So that's kind of what's coming. I'm not divulging yet what this new tractor is. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Some of you may have never seen one before. I think maybe I've seen one in real life. It's, well, at least around here, it wasn't a real common tractor. There used to be a really strong Alice Chalmers dealer just a couple of towns over from here, and it was kind of a big blow to the community whenever that whole thing sort of just went under and that dealership went away, because there were several pretty staunch Alice Chalmers fans and farms around here. No, you don't really see them anymore around, because over the years those tractors have just kind of gotten used up, and everybody's kind of moved on to either Case or John Deere, and there's a handful of, well, I wouldn't even say a handful, there's a couple of New Holland guys around. I will say though that AGCO around here has kind of picked up the slack, especially in recent years. There's more people using Fendt tractors. There's several Challenger tractors bought back when they were kind of the new thing. So I would say overall, I would actually almost venture to say that there's more AGCO tractors around than there are New Holland. I think that's probably pretty safe to say. So I don't know quite yet when the new tractor is going to be here. It is Rusty was trying. He knows some truckers, some different people he uses quite frequently when he buys equipment, you know, from different places, you know, far off that it's got to be trucked. So he was going to try to get something lined up for me. He thought he could do it pretty quickly, and so I'm thinking probably this is a Wednesday today. He finalized the deal for the tractor yesterday. So, you know, I'm really hoping that maybe he can get it lined up before the weekend and it can get trucked down here sort of over the weekend, and we can have it sort of the beginning of next week. I'm pretty excited about it. The way the finance deal has worked out is Rusty was, I don't really know what to think about it. I don't know whether if this is going to come back to bite me, or if he's just kind of doing this out of the kindness of his heart. But so Rusty, you know, I didn't have the money really for a down payment and to have enough money to stay operating. So what he said was, look, you're buying this tractor because you've got sort of a contract sewed up here with Jimmy. So I'll tell you what, let's do. He said, I'll cover the cost of the tractor for now, and when you finish the contract with Jimmy, you can make a big down payment, and then I can help you finance the rest of it. He said, I can finance the rest of it basically for you. So that way I don't have to go to a bank. I don't have to worry about, you know, borrowing money from mom and dad or anything like that. Dad, I was able to talk to him. You know, he's in Poland right now. He's gone. He's working on a project. I was able to talk to him. He said, just make sure that you get it all in writing. You know, get a contract, which Jimmy was completely cool about and said, yep, that's what we need to do. So he kind of had a contract already where he had done this a couple of times for some other people, and so he fixed that up. I sent a copy to Dad. He looked at it and said, you know, it looks very transparent. It's clear here what the agreement is. So I signed it, and it's going to be good. I think. I hope. I ended up paying the guy that owned the tractor. He actually wanted $18,500 for the tractor. So, and he said he wasn't really willing to move on the price. So I ended up paying $18,500 for the tractor, and Jimmy thought that it was going to cost somewhere around. He said, you know, it'd have to go in a semi, so he was thinking it would be somewhere around $1,500 to $2,000 to get it shipped to me, which seems to me like a lot of money, but I guess it is what it is. But anyways, that's kind of the story. That's kind of what's going on with the tractor, the new tractor. I'm pretty excited about it. I hope you guys are excited to see the next piece of equipment that gets added to the lineup. As I was mentioned before in the latest video, the extras video, I think it's going to be really good because it is going to allow me, it's going to be big enough that it'll allow me to do some of my own farming. In the beginning anyways, I might have to borrow a few implements, you know, here or there. Steve Thomas, his biggest tractor is in line with the size of this tractor is going to be. So a lot of his implements, you know, I may be able to lease from him or borrow from him, or, you know, trade some kind of labor for the use of his implements. But most of his implements, like he's got a disc, he's got a cultivator, so on, they're pretty much the perfect size for this new tractor. So I'm hoping that will work out pretty well. As far as Kurt Stevens goes, his implements are kind of big. Really, I don't know. I might be able to pull his big Kinsey planter with it. Maybe. That would really kind of be pushing it. This tractor's going to be just over 200 horsepower, so it's going to have some power. I just don't know as far as like hydraulic flow and things like that. I don't really know how that's going to be yet. I know what it's supposed to be by specs, but I just don't know how exactly it's going to be set up. I would be surprised if it has a power beyond circuit, and I believe that that's something that I would need to I believe that's something that I will need in order to use his big Kinsey planter. I'm gonna see if I can straighten this up just a little bit here. This was pretty, I kind of did a lousy job. Maybe I was talking too much and not paying attention to what I was doing. But I'm gonna see if I can straighten this up just a little bit so it looks a little square. I really don't like it when people watch me work. That's funny to say since you guys are watching me work, but like when like Jimmy or if like Kurt or Steve, if they like watching me do what I do, it kind of makes me nervous. Alright, I'm going to straighten this up and I'll catch you back up with you when it's time to do the outside rounds. Alright everybody, well, we're back. I got this field straightened up, and actually what I did is I went ahead and just mowed the whole thing. Jimmy was I'm kind of wondering now if this wasn't like the test before the test. A couple of days ago he told me, I want you to come and just do the 4 outside rounds first. That way we can check out your equipment and make sure everything's going to be good, and then you can go forward. Well, I'm thinking now that this may have been like the pop quiz before the test to show me what I knew and what I didn't know about this new swather, because what he actually told me is when he saw kind of how crooked everything was and all that, he's like, well, you know what, just go ahead and just mow the whole field now. He said I was kind of planning on grazing part of it, but he said just go ahead and we'll just mow the whole thing, and that way it'll be nice and straight. So anyways, I don't know whether I passed or failed. I guess I passed, because then he told me, hey, it looks pretty good, go ahead and do that 4 outside rounds. So that's what we're going to do now. This whole little patch here, which is not real big, I don't know, it was maybe like, maybe 4 or 5 acres, maybe at the most, if that. But anyways, that's all done. So now we're gonna hop over here, and we're gonna tackle the 4 outside rounds in this in the main field here. So one thing I have learned about this Haybine is that it doesn't pull perfectly straight, and I think that might have been maybe a little bit, maybe part of my problem when I started mowing this and trying to drive straight, is that it wants to pull the tractor just a little bit. I don't know if you'd think the tractor would be heavy enough that this swather wouldn't affect it so much, but it's almost like you kind of got to steer at a little bit of an angle and kind of crab steer it so that you can keep the swather going in a straight line. So I think that's one thing that I've learned, and that's going to be pretty important, because as I make these outside rounds, one thing I've noticed is that if I can start out straight, then it's easy to stay straight. Like here, for example, when I was going down along these telephone poles, I knew I could kind of use the telephone poles to sort of gauge how straight I was going, and that was easy. I made a nice straight windrow, and then the next one after that, I just followed the windrow before, and nice and straight, and you know, subsequently it's nice and straight and so forth. So if I can get straight windrows made in the first place, I think it's not going to be hard to stay straight. But so anyways, I'm kind of learning as I go here, and I'm hoping that I can not mess this up too bad. A big field like this, it sure would be nice to have a tractor with auto steer. And that sounds crazy because I'm just mowing hay, but man, it would be nice if I had auto steer to help me keep this stuff, keep these windrows straight. But anyways, we're kind of burning daylight. We're gonna hop in here and do these outside rounds, and it's probably gonna take a little while to do these outside rounds because this thing is so big. So we're gonna do 4 of them, and then probably shut her down for the night. Let's get going. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, let's see, how would be the best way to go about this? So I think I'm going to go down this way just a little ways here. And I'm going to start beside this row of bushes here. I'm not sure why these bushes are here. I think if this was my hayfield, I would probably have gotten rid of these bushes already, but it's not. It's not mine, so we'll just go ahead and deal with them. But I do think I'm gonna try to use this in effort to stay straight. Yeah, I think so. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. It's really dusty out here. I'm surprised. I'm surprised how much dust is on this equipment. Because it was fairly clean whenever I started. So that's kind of... Let's see here. I'm too close. Alright, we're just going to have to kind of go for it and see how it goes. Alright, I think I'm going to send the drone up and get some aerial footage of this to start with at least. Might even record some voiceover for you so I can kind of do a play-by-play for later on. Okay, let's do it. Well, I think this is going okay so far. Now, I don't think Jimmy owns this field that's just right over here to the right of us that looks like it's been cultivated. I don't believe he owns that one or the one up here in front of us. So I'm kind of trying to stay kind of away from them. And you know, it doesn't really look like that's been mowed in the past. It looks a little bit weedy, and doesn't really look like it's part of the field per se. So I'm kind of trying to get a wide berth. I definitely don't want to hit anything. Jimmy didn't mention anything about being, you know, around the outside edge of the field, but I just don't really want to get too close to it. It'd be nice if this fence up here ran, you know, the whole straight way down this east side, because then it'd make it really easy to set up this first straight windrow. Well, actually, you can see there's kind of a path here. I don't know if maybe that's where a hot wire has been or something. So maybe that'll help keep me straight. All right. Well, I think we're gonna be good to go. I might just play some music and let you guys watch. All right, well, I think that actually went pretty good, all things considered. I don't know if you noticed or not, but there was some parts of the field that I got close to close to the opposite edge, and there were some parts of the field where I pretty much just stayed completely away from it. And so Jimmy told me that there were some places where that he wanted me to get close, and there were some places that he wanted me to stay kind of, stay away from. And so that's sort of what that was about. I'm gonna have to do some adjustment on my cylinders, I think, because I'm kind of clipping the tops of the, even with it all the way raised, I'm kind of clipping the tops of the grass. Maybe I can adjust on that some before I start cutting the next piece of this. There's a lot to learn with this Hydra Swing Haybine. It's quite a bit different than my sickle mower. I'm gonna have to get better at the controlling the hydraulics to swing it in and swing it out. Like anything else, I guess it's just gonna take practice to get good with it. But I mean, so far, I think it's going to be a good deal. It's, I can't mow as fast as I'd be able to mow if I was using, say, like a disc bind type mower. But those disc mowers, for one, yeah, you can go fast with them, and they actually make some pretty big ones. But the thing about them is that they actually take a lot of horsepower, especially if you have one that's very wide and that's very if you have one that's very wide and it has a conditioner. So if it's a disc bind and it has a crimper, or those rollers in the back of this one, I don't know if I've actually showed you guys that yet or not, but I'll show you that maybe in the next video when it's a little more daylight outside. I'll show you the crimpers in it and kind of explain how they work. But anyways, those bigger disc binds, they, for one, they just take more power to spin those blades, and then for two, part of the productivity that goes with them is that you're able to cut faster. And so if you have more ground speed, that means it's just more horsepower. So with this tractor, it's only about 110 horsepower, and I don't know how big of a disc mower with conditioner, and I really wanted a conditioner to go along with the next mower, which is what I have here. That a big disc bind that has a conditioner on it, and then being able to drive, as fast as you want to drive, basically, or as fast as you can stand to drive, that would have taken a lot of horsepower. That would have taken, a disc bind this wide, 16 feet wide, with a conditioner. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that didn't take, like 150, 160 horsepower. So, you're looking at a pretty big tractor at that point. Now, looking back, I guess since I'm buying a bigger tractor, excuse me, since I'm buying a bigger tractor now, maybe I could, the tractor I'm getting certainly would be able to handle a disc bind with a conditioner that's this wide. But there again, to get a disc bind that's this wide with a conditioner, it would have been a lot more money than this old Haybine cost me. I'd probably be looking, even for a decent used one, for a disc bind that's anywhere near this size, I'd be looking, I bet 10 grand at least. And from what I've heard, when it comes to those things, the cutter bars in those things, they have a lot of moving parts, and they can get pretty expensive pretty quickly when it's time to rebuild and all. So I'm pretty happy with this Haybine. I think it's going to be good. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but so far it's doing a really good job cutting, and it's definitely a step up from the sickle mower I had. Even, you know, as far as speed goes, as far as drying time goes, I think this is going to be a lot better. And then on top of that, it's like twice as wide, a little over twice as wide as that sickle mower was. So it's definitely a step up, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty excited to have it. It needs a few adjustments, you know, like the lift cylinders. I need to kind of figure out why they're bleeding down and why the thing is sinking over time, and then I kind of need to figure out if I can get it to raise up anymore. But so far, I'm pretty pleased. I'm pretty happy with my purchase. And this tractor, you know, it seems to really handle it well as far as power is concerned. If the tractor was a little bit heavier, I might not have to compensate with my steering. But you know, once you're used to that and you know you have to do it, it's really not that big of a deal. Like when I was cutting down the far side over there, where I think that hot wire fence must have been, it was pretty easy to stay where I needed to be, since I knew I needed to kind of correct my steering. So I don't know if you noticed, like when I got close to these trees, I kind of stayed out further in some places than others. And one of the things Jimmy told me was to stay, you know, if I had any questions, to stay away from the trees, because he hadn't been by the tree line in a while, and he didn't know if there were any branches or anything that had fallen, and he didn't want me to get any of those in the haybine, and then, or you know, to cut anything, or you know, if it was small enough that it would just go through the haybine, but then later, you know, get stuck in the baler or whatever. So he told me to just kind of stay away, and he said that he may come out like tomorrow, or you know, the next couple of days, and kind of ride down the tree line, and then later, if I can go through and kind of clean it up a little bit, then I'll do so. But he said that, you know, any doubt, just stay away from the trees. I think it's going to be good working for Jimmy, to be honest, because he seems like a pretty nice guy. I mean, he's definitely, you know, in this. You know, he definitely expects me to do the best I can, but he also, I think, realizes that I'm new, and it's going to take me a little bit of time to get this new swather figured out, and I think he's going to give me, he's definitely going to give me the benefit of the doubt when it comes to working for him. I really hadn't had much interaction with him before this, you know, just like at the co-op or, you know, whatever, just kind of a, hey, how you doing? But he really seems like a pretty good guy. I've talked to him on the phone, you know, here and there, because he's kind of been asking, you know, about my equipment and, you know, what the plan is and all that, you know, while I was trying to figure out a square baler and you know, the tractor thing. But yeah, he seems like a pretty good guy. I hope this is going to be a good and lasting relationship. Alright guys, well I think I'm gonna end the video here. I'm gonna hop out and go check the sickle, check the guards. I'm going to go around and make sure everything is still tight as far as the the paneling and everything, the side panels and all. Check the crimper and the drive chains on the crimper. Make sure that they're all good to go, and finish the next two outside rounds. Having done these two outside rounds so far, and as long as it has taken me, the gravity of this job is certainly beginning to take effect. And remember, this is just one of the fields. I know that he has another one that I think is almost this big over down the road, just actually down the road from Mom and Dad's. So this is only about half of the hay that I have to cut for him over the next few days. So I'm going to be busy. I mean, it's good in that it's going to be a lot of money and a lot of income, but at the same time, it's going to be a ton of work. I'm glad I was already planning on not getting much sleep, because I don't think I'm going to be getting much the next few days. So anyways, guys, thanks for following along. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and are going to be ready to see more videos of mowing hay and doing other things. My next the next video, or the next extras video, is actually not going to have anything to do with hay. We're probably going to be dragging a disc around again, so that'll be interesting. You'll get to see a new tractor in that, not my new tractor, but you'll get to see Kurt Stevens' new tractor in that video. So come back and see me again, and hang out with me again. Thanks for my subscribers and all of you guys who like the videos. I appreciate you guys. Just recently we have passed the 200 subscriber mark on the channel, and so thanks for all you for watching and for helping me along on this journey. Have a great night, and wish me luck.